Hi, welcome back to Cheyenne, Wyoming Urban Gardener. We're going live today. I don't know if I'll get anyone actually coming into the room or anything because it is midday, but I just wanted to tell everybody that I had went to a little place in Chugwater, Wyoming that is called the Soda Fountain, and I met Jill Winger from Prairie, used to be Prairie Homestead, but she has changed her name on her channel. But you can look her up by Jill Winger, or you can also look her up by Prairie Homestead, and it'll show you her channel. But I think it's now called Old Fashioned with a Purpose. So anyway, make sure you check out her channel. But we were not going there to meet her, but I had supposed that there's a possibility that I could meet her. We live very close to Chugwater. We're in Cheyenne, and Chugwater is about 30 to 45 minutes away. So we just popped over there. It's our anniversary today. My partner and I have been together for 7 years. So we decided to just go to Chugwater. We actually have been to the soda fountain before, and before that, Jill Winger owned it, or it owns it now. So we popped over there and just had some burgers and things like that. And from one of the things that I understand is that she's providing beef for the actual restaurant. So the burgers were fantastic. I actually had a taco salad, which is called a nacho salad, I believe, over there. And my partner had a burger, and I had a grilled cheese as well. But fabulous food, a lot of food, a great price, and she's done a bang on job with restoring that soda fountain, which it really was. It's old building, so it's an old soda fountain, and there's a whole story about how the soda fountain came about, and the soda fountain bar that's in there, and all kinds of things. It's really interesting. So just look up Chugwater Soda Fountain, and it'll tell you the whole story. Um, and there's some interesting things that are in there, especially an apothecary cabinet or a pharmacy cabinet. Both of them look kind of the same, but she has this huge pharmacy cabinet in there that I guess was original with the building. And it has loads and loads and loads of these little drawers that are in it. Like, the cabinet is huge, but there's little drawers that are in it. And she's actually using all of the little drawers and has them all labeled with different things that are in there. But she was standing outside of the building. We was not planning on meeting her or anything. I was just going to give the seeds. I'd taken her a whole bag of seeds, and I'd separated them and wrote a little bit about them and everything. And it's all seeds that I've saved over the years. So I took it, and I was just going to hand it to one of the employees there and tell them to give it to her whenever they got the chance. But she was actually standing outside of the building when we pulled in. So I said, "Hey, I've got something for you," and she kind of looked surprised, but she waved before I even said anything. So I walked over to her, and I just told her, I said, "I've got some seeds that I saved for you, and they're acclimated to Wyoming, so you may want to try these out. You don't have to or anything like that, obviously, but there's some seeds in here you might want to try that maybe you've never came across." And so I gave her some of my Tahitian squash and my red curry squash, and just several different varieties of different squash, delicata squash, and um, some of my Alaskan snow peas, and all kinds of different things. So I just had it in a bag for her, had it all separated out, and explaining a little bit about each thing, and um, talked to her a little bit. And she gave me a hug, and she was very, very nice. And we went in and had some lunch. But I did not film anything while I was there because, well, it's our anniversary, and I didn't want her to put her on the spot and be filming her employees and filming customers that were coming in or anything like that. You can definitely look up the soda fountain. You can see what it looks like inside and out. She's done a fantastic job with actually rearranging, because it's kind of small. It's just a small soda fountain, small building, but she's done a great job. When we went in there the first time a few years ago, it was kind of cramped. There was a lot of tables, and the bathroom was kind of really weird if you needed to go to the bathroom or anything like that. But she has really done a lot with the space. Um, it's much larger in there. There's not very many tables, but it's a much larger space. She's rearranged things where they're aesthetically and also giving more room to the space. And they've, I think, changed around the bathroom a bit, because I think the bathroom used to be much, much smaller, and now it's a really good size. So definitely, if you're in Chugwater in Wyoming, go by, check out the soda fountain. And if Jill is there, say hi to her. She's extremely nice. I was surprised, and because sometimes as YouTube creators, I don't have that much of a subscriber base, but as YouTube creators, it can be a little bit trying sometimes, I guess, because we're not used to having that many people around and stuff, or recognizing us. So um, she was definitely very, very nice. So definitely check out the Chugwater soda fountain if you get the chance. Um, we didn't really go in depth a whole lot. I just gave her the seeds, and we just spoke a little bit, and then she gave me the hug, and we went on and inside and ate. And I did notice that the town has really put in a lot of effort on revitalizing a lot of things. I noticed some buildings that were open that were not open before. And again, Chugwater is very, very small. There's not a whole lot of people there, very, very few buildings, but they have done so much with it, especially the park. We went by, and the park in that area, and the park is actually much nicer than any of the parks that I know of here in Cheyenne, especially with their shelters and stuff like that. So it was really looked like a pleasant place to just stop and maybe have an outside outdoor lunch, and have some people, friends around, and things like that. And there was a couple of gas stations that were opened back up that I hadn't seen open before. And there was a mercantile. I don't remember seeing that open before. And it just looked like that everything had been cleaned up and really had been put an effort in, and renovating and revitalizing the community. So that's a really good thing. I did not get to see her ranch. I think she has a ranch. I don't want to invade her privacy or anything like that. But if you have a chance to check out her channel, you can see that she has a high tunnel, and I think a greenhouse, and she does some cooking videos, and this, that, and the other. She has pretty large subscriber base, so definitely check her out. It's Prairie Homestead or Jill Winger. And anyway, I hope that I think I see one person in here. I hope that you're hearing me okay. I do have two microphones on right now, so I'm hoping there's not any feedback. But I noticed the last time I'd done a live that it was a little bit quiet. So yes, we are getting ready for the Cheyenne Frontier Days. We drove by on the way there, and I noticed that the carnival and everything is all set up. I avoid the Frontier Days, to be honest. I haven't actually went to the rodeo or anything. I think the tickets are really, really expensive. I mean, if you've got the money for that, then definitely go try that out. It's really great fun. They've got some really good concerts. I'm not sure who the concerts are this time, but I do know that if you go to something called Slack, um, usually the weekend before the actual Cheyenne Frontier Days, you can park for free, and you can actually go in and watch the Slack, which is the qualifying, for free. We do that just about every year. This year I've said no, I don't want to do that, because it is actually really hot right now. We're in the 90s. Today is actually 87, but tomorrow is supposed to be up to like 90, 91. And in a couple of days, it's going to be 93 to 96. So it's been hot, and then it storms in the evening, and there's a lot of lightning involved, and thunder and things like that. So I have not been looking too keenly at going to the Cheyenne Frontier Days. Yeah, there's some downtown events and stuff that go on during that. And I think I noticed there was something going on in Laramie too that has to do with a rodeo. So, well, hi, Alpine Gulch. So you live here too, or are you right in Cheyenne? I haven't been to the whole lot of the downtown events or anything during it. Just try to avoid the traffic, and especially right now. There's a lot of construction going on, and I don't think they're going to be done with that construction before the Frontier Days. Look, I mean, there's sidewalks torn up, and they're redoing some of the streets and stuff. Ah, cool. Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming / Arizona. Yeah, she's really cool. I think she's on vacation this week, so I haven't seen, unless I've missed a video or something. I've been so busy in the garden. Today was the first day that my partner was just like, "You need to take some time off. It's her anniversary. We're gonna go to the Chugwater soda fountain." So we were either gonna do that or we are gonna go to Ribbon Chop, and I was just like, I've been to the Ribbon Chop so many times, then I think we need to go to the soda fountain. When it comes to the Frontier Days, yeah, they might get it all done. I don't know, but doesn't look like it to me. I mean, they're working on the streets and things right across from our house. Um, it's they've gotten all the sidewalks torn up. A lot of the sidewalks in Cheyenne, I don't know if you know this or not, but a lot of them are still slate, like the slate that was put in a long time ago, like 100 years ago or something. So they're going in and like trying to replace some of the slate, but they're replacing it with concrete. And we've got some slate, still some slate sidewalks at our house. So we've said no, we don't want them to do that. We want to keep them slate. The cracking and stuff like that, to me, it's aesthetic. I like the cracking and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it'll be better for people that are probably jogging or, riding those scooters or this, that, or the other. I don't think they're supposed to be riding the scooters on the sidewalk, but I'm not sure. But we've had a lot of people riding those new electric scooters around the city, and I don't know how they go that fast and stuff, but I haven't seen anybody on the sidewalks so much. Once in a while, I'll see them on the sidewalk, but I mostly see people out in the street with the scooters. But yeah, it'll probably be better for them if they do get on the sidewalk, or some people I know bike on the sidewalks. I don't think you're really supposed to do that either. But to have them more even and stuff, it probably would be better. I think that you can rent. I've not tried one out, but from my understanding from my daughter, she's younger, she's 27. She says that you keep a card on file, and then people just rent the scooter and then they can use it all through the city. And I don't know how much it is, if it's by hour, if it's by a certain block of minutes or what. But most of the people that I've seen riding those scooters have been teenagers and younger. So it makes me wonder, it's like, do their parents even know they have a card and are using a card just to ride scooters around in the city? And I've seen them like wrecking the scooters and stuff, especially around our house. Like they ride so fast through that if you were in the way, they probably would just hit you. You know. Yep, they leave them everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. We've had a couple left in front of our house. Um, I don't know. It seems dangerous to me. There's no helmets. These scooters can go really fast. I've seen them. They have to do like 25 to 35 miles per hour because they are moving faster than the traffic. Sometimes it's going up the street, and I think the speed limit on the traffic is 30. Um, and I've seen them passing traffic. So they're going faster than the traffic. Yeah, yeah. And I just keep waiting for the moment that somebody gets clotheslined on the scooter or something. They run into a door, because there's people that park along our street all the time because we've got a health services building across from us. So they park along our street on our block all the time. The house actually takes up like half a block that we live in. So the house is big, and then the land that's around it is not that big. So it's mostly surrounded by sidewalks. So they park all along the street out here on both sides. So I'm just waiting for the day that somebody goes to get some health services done and opens a door, and here goes a scooter flying, or somebody flying. Terrifying to me. I couldn't imagine riding all around the city like that, especially right now. It's hot, and I don't know. I wouldn't end up burnt like a crisp. Yes, it is. They come by with the little trolleys, and they will stop at the house, and usually I'm outside working in the garden, I wave. And, yeah. So if you ever take the historic tours and you're in the trolley and they stop here at the house, it's called the Pencil House. So they will probably refer to it as the Pencil House, but it's actually the Sturgis House in Cheyenne. So it's on the National Historical Registry. And my garden is in front of the house, which actually looks opposite to the street. So the back of our house is actually pointed towards the street. The front of the house is pointed towards an apartment building complex. So the garden is in the front and then around the side. So you can see part of the garden in the front, but if you blink, you miss it because the front yard is just so small. And you're always, welcome to wave or say hi. I'm usually outside in the garden. Especially this year, we're trying to stock up as much stuff as we can because I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, it's a lot of maintenance though. Right now, we can't get any workers to come out and do maintenance. We've had issues with some plumbing, and we've had some issues with, we need the house painted and stuff like that. And people will come out and they look at the house, and if they come out, most of the time we call them and we leave a message, and they don't ever call back. Um, but if they do actually come out and do an estimate or whatever, they'll come out and you see them doing this. And I can see what's going on in their heads. That is a huge house. That is a lot of work. And they'll give us an estimate, or they'll say, we'll come back and give you the estimate when we get it figured up. And then they either never call, or they never show back up, or they don't answer their phone, or they won't answer their voicemails. So I know it's just the house is so big that they're just kind of like, no, they don't really want to work on it. It's like the estimate's probably going to be higher than what the work is really. Because I've painted houses before, it's not really that difficult. So I could paint the house myself. It's just that I'm older now, and I'm not so stable on a ladder anymore, and that kind of thing. But um, I used to use a Wagner power painter, and those things work great. Yeah, we had the only people that have shown up to do work has been the chimney people. We had them come and clean the chimneys and check them. And we've got a boiler guy that comes and checks. We have a boiler. So the boiler's been converted from coal to gas, and it's still in service, but it's been here since 1927. So it's still in service. It was converted to gas, and it still works all the time. But yeah, our boiler guy comes and checks the boiler. He's really good. We've got new sprinkler guys, and they showed up when they were supposed to. We've got a sprinkler system. And we had plumbers that we use a couple of times, but those same plumbers didn't call and didn't show up for work 6 times in a row. And not just them, like every plumber outfit that we've called here in Cheyenne has either no call, no show after doing either one job, didn't show up for a job, on and on and on. So it's been like pulling teeth, to be honest, to try to get somebody out here to work on the house. And it's not just us. Other people are saying the same thing. I've seen lots and lots of complaints on the Facebook groups and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I'll be honest. We use Marv's Plumbing, and Marv's is the one that dropped the ball 6 times in a row. We have an issue with some drains that back up every so often. And they've put cameras down in the drains. They've went in with their tools and all the other stuff. We actually had $4,000 worth of work done on the drains. They came out here with a backhoe, dug up all of the drains out in the front, and we're supposed to have done like $4,000 worth of work. In less than 6 months, it was backing back up again. And it's been like that ever since, and that's been 5 years ago. So every 6 months or so, we've got drains backing up, and then they'll come out. And honestly, I don't think they do a whole lot. They just run a tool down in the thing and say that there's roots and issues and blah, blah, blah. And then it starts working again. And then 6 months later, it's doing the same thing. So if it keeps doing it every 6 months, I don't think it's just roots. I think they need to actually do something else. Oh, cottonwood trees. That is the worst trees I've ever seen for so many roots. Back east, they used to say, because I'm originally from Tennessee. Back east, they used to say it was willow trees. Willow trees with their roots were so bad. But I've never met a willow tree that was as bad as a cottonwood about the roots. Yeah, we've had 3 or 4 trees cut down around the house that were cottonwoods, and they're completely, really kind of a useless tree. They provide shade. They're not, to me, very, very aesthetically pleasing. The only thing that they're used for is paper. That is what your paper's made out of, is cottonwoods. Cardboard and paper is what they're waterlogged trees. So they are like soaking wet when they cut them down. And then when they dry out, you can't use them for burning, because when they dry out, they just turn into like sawdust. They just break down so quickly. But the roots are a pain in the butt. They just basically grind them down. I've never seen this before. In East Tennessee, when they cut trees down, they take the roots out. Like the stump, the roots, they come out. They don't grind them down into the ground. And I've noticed here they grind them down into the ground. And like I've got 3 or 4 stumps with roots in my garden that I wish would be gone. And I just have to wait until they break down, because we called and said, we got these stumps. Can you please remove these stumps? And the same guy was just like, yeah, we don't do that anymore. We just grind them down. I could come out and grind them down further. It's like, well, that's kind of defeating the purpose. I have a garden, So anyway, I just wanted to hop on here for a little bit and just say that I'd met Jill Winger from Prairie Homestead, and she's pretty honest. She's pretty honest, nice woman. I liked her. So good food, good atmosphere. So definitely check it out. Well, it was nice to see you on here, Alpine Gulch. I hope you catch another one. I don't do lives very often because I'm so busy, but I usually answer every comment that comes in on my channel. So I sit down in the evenings and I look through all the comments just to say hi to people and stuff. Nice to meet you too. I'll see you around. And like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You hear that so often in YouTube, but I'll see you next time.